Imagine this. What if everything you've been told about the origins of human civilization is wrong? What if ancient myths, the stories of gods, cosmic battles, floods, and divine interventions are not just fictional tales? What if these myths are actually memories, fragments of a lost civilization that lived long before our known history? What if these myths hold the key to unlocking the history of an advanced civilization, now lost to time? For thousands of years, humanity has passed down stories of gods, heroes, and monsters. But what if these aren't just fantastical stories? What if they are encoded memories of a time when humans were part of a civilization so advanced it has long since disappeared from the historical record? Could the gods, floods, and cosmic battles be more than just stories? Could they be memories passed down through generations, telling us about the rise and fall of a civilization that existed long before the civilizations we know today? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you something simple. Where are you listening from right now, not only on the map, but within your day? Are you settling down after hours that felt a little too full, or easing into rest earlier than usual? And what time is it where you are? It feels right to ask because the story we're about to enter exists beyond our usual sense of time. The world we're exploring tonight doesn't follow clocks or calendars. It unfolds across stretches so vast they hardly seem to move at all. If this space feels calming to you, or if gentle science helps your thoughts relax their hold, you're always welcome to like the video or subscribe. It simply helps this quiet corner reach others who may also be looking for something steady and unhurried to listen to, though there's never any rush here. Now let's begin gently as we dive back into what if ancient myths are memories of the first civilization. In this documentary, we're going to explore the possibility that ancient myths, the ones we've always considered legends or fables, could actually be memories. What if these stories are not just symbolic, but encoded recollections of a forgotten civilization, preserved through time as warnings and preservations of knowledge? Could the flood myths, the gods, and the cosmic battles we've heard all our lives be the real history of humanity's first golden age? The birth of myths, connecting the past to the present. In ancient societies, myths were far more than just entertainment. They were essential parts of each culture's identity, explanation of the world, and understanding of nature. From Greek gods to the Hindu deities, Sumerian epics and African stories, these myths were created to explain the mysteries of the cosmos, life, death, and the forces of nature. But what if these myths are more than just symbolic tales? What if they are encoded memories of a lost civilization, passed down through generations? Myths often told of gods descending from the heavens, engaging in cosmic battles or divine interventions to guide or punish humans. These divine figures were often shown as beings with powers beyond human comprehension, controlling storms, changing shapes, and battling monsters. But could these gods have been beings from an advanced civilization, with technologies so sophisticated they were perceived as gods by the people of that time? Every ancient civilization has flood myths, the Noah's Ark story in the Bible, the Epic of Gilgamesh in Mesopotamia, and similar stories in Hinduism, South America, and Native American cultures. What if these floods weren't just symbolic events, but memories of a global disaster that wiped out an ancient empire? What if these stories of destruction were passed down through time, encoded in myths to preserve the memory of a great catastrophe? Could myths be the memories of the first civilization, a civilization far more advanced than what we know, destroyed by a global event, Perhaps a flood, a cataclysmic battle, or an unseen force that reshaped the world? What if these memories were hidden in plain sight, passed down through the ages in the form of ancient stories, until we rediscovered them as the true history of our past? Flood myths around the world. One event, many cultures. Flood myths are some of the most universal stories across different cultures. From Noah's Ark in the Bible to the Epic of Gilgamesh, and even the Hindu Mahabharata, every ancient civilization has a flood myth that mirrors a great disaster. But what if these floods were more than just symbolic? What if they were the memories of a real global flood, a catastrophic event that wiped out an advanced civilization, one that has long since disappeared? These myths all describe massive floods, often sent by gods to cleanse the earth, with a single survivor tasked with repopulating the earth. The similarity across these cultures suggests that these myths stem from one event, an event so significant that it was encoded in the stories of multiple cultures separated by time and space. What if this flood was not a symbolic cleansing, but the result of a real disaster, a global event that wiped out ancient civilizations? One possible explanation is the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which suggests that around 12,000 years ago, a comet impact or asteroid strike caused massive climate shifts, leading to global flooding and the end of the last ice age. This event would have devastated civilizations, and the survivors could have passed down these memories through myths, creating stories of the Great Flood. What if these myths are the preserved memories of a global catastrophe that wiped out an advanced civilization? What if these floods were real events, recorded in ancient texts and passed down through the ages in the form of stories that shaped the cultures of the survivors? Mid-hook. But here's the twist. What if these flood myths weren't just about catastrophic events in one culture, but a shared memory of a lost civilization? The flood stories we know could be the keys to understanding a global disaster that reset civilization and shaped human history. Could it be that the myths of floods and destruction point to the real history of a time when humanity faced an apocalyptic catastrophe that altered the course of the world? The gods and cosmic battles. Could they represent real historical events? In many myths, gods descend from the heavens to wage wars against one another or against monsters, often with the fate of the world at stake. But what if these gods were not divine beings at all? What if they were humans or beings from an advanced civilization, using technology far beyond what we think was possible in the ancient world? Could these cosmic battles be historical events, the real struggles between competing civilizations that fought for power, resources, and knowledge? In the Greek myths, the battle between the Titans and the Olympians is often described as a cosmic conflict between gods. In the Mahabharata, the gods engage in a divine war using weapons that resemble advanced technologies. Even the Norse Ragnarok describes a battle between gods and giants, with the end of the world in sight. What if these gods weren't just immortal beings, but humans or beings from an ancient, advanced civilization? What if their battles were real wars, fought between empires with advanced technologies that appeared divine to those who witnessed them? What if these cosmic battles were simply misinterpreted events, the stories of which became myths, passed down through generations as a way to explain supernatural occurrences? Myths as memories. How ancient stories preserve the past? Could it be that ancient myths are not just stories but memories, preserved tales of a civilization that came before us, encoded in the stories of gods, floods, and cosmic battles? What if these myths contain the lost wisdom of a civilization that was far more advanced than we are today? What if these myths were preserved memories of events, like the collapse of an empire or a global catastrophe, that shaped the course of human history? In ancient times, myths were passed down through oral traditions and stories. As generations shared the same tales, the myths were altered and embellished. But what if the core of these myths preserved a real history, a memory of a lost civilization whose achievements and technology were too advanced to be understood by later generations? These myths could have been passed down as a warning, as a preservation of knowledge, or even as a way to protect humanity from repeating the mistakes of the past. Could these ancient stories be hidden records of an advanced civilization that left behind technological knowledge? What if humanity isn't the first civilization to reach great heights, but we are living in a world that has forgotten the civilizations that came before? What if myths are more than just stories? Could ancient myths be more than just stories? Could they be memories preserved by ancient cultures as a way to protect future generations from the dangers of forgetting the lessons of the past? What if the gods, the floods, and the cosmic battles are not just allegories but records of a lost civilization? One that was wiped out, only to be remembered through myths and stories. As modern technologies like space exploration and genetic research bring us closer to unlocking ancient knowledge, could we be rediscovering the secrets of a civilization that existed long before us? Could the myths of the ancient world hold the key to our future, just as they have shaped our past? What if we are on the verge of rediscovering the knowledge that the first civilization left behind? What if ancient myths are the key to unlocking a lost era, a time when humans were far more advanced than we ever imagined? As we've explored the possibility that ancient myths may be memories of a lost civilization, we are left with more questions than answers. Could these myths really be the preserved history of an advanced empire that lived before us? Could we be on the verge of rediscovering the knowledge and wisdom that was lost to time? The answers may lie in the myths, encoded stories of gods, floods, and cosmic battles, waiting to be unearthed. If this exploration of ancient myths and lost civilizations has piqued your interest, don't forget to subscribe to After Hours Tales for more in-depth explorations into the mysteries of the past. Join us as we continue to uncover the secrets of humanity's first civilizations and explore how their forgotten knowledge could shape our future. Wishing you a restful night and sweet dreams. Good night.